It was envisioned to be a small children's zoo with domestic animals and some native wildlife like squirrels and pigeons and goats. And the creation of the Riverbanks Park Commission in 1969, that the concept shifted from this small little children's zoo to a real zoological park with lions and giraffes and tigers and an incredible birdhouse. And so when the zoo opened on April 25th, 1974, a lot of people were caught by surprise that such an incredible facility had been built when they were expecting one thing and got something else.
And I don't think anybody in Columbia knew what they were getting ready to walk in and look at. It was still pretty crazy even on the day we opened. You know, half the place was not finished and there were contractors running around and heavy equipment.
People had two immediate reactions. One was, this place is gorgeous and it's way bigger than anything we thought. And number two is, it's still under construction and I'm not coming back until it's finished. The zoo had a very rocky beginning, and there was a period of time shortly after the zoo opened when its future was at times in doubt. As I say that, I'm reminded of an editorial written by the Greenville newspaper asking that the zoo be closed. And another anecdote by a member of, at the time, Lexington County Council, who actually was quoted in the state newspaper one day as saying they should take a bulldozer and push it in the Saluda River. And then, as exhibits were completed and opened and the scope of the zoo was finally known, is when support by the public really got behind the zoo.
We were in kind of a unique position, and all of us had been instilled with this idea that Riverbanks Zoo was going to make a name for itself. And lo and behold, we did.
We bred a bird, a Toko toucan. Most people would call it a Fruit Loops bird. It looks like the bird on the cereal box. We were the first people to ever breed it in captivity, and boy, that brought a lot of attention. And we followed that with some primates that we bred that had never been bred in captivity. That time was a very critical time for zoos because we began, in those days, we were just beginning to understand that we were going to have to produce animals. We would no longer be able to rely on importing them from the wild.
We've still got a lot of people that are involved with programs all over the world. It's not just focused here in South Carolina. It's reintroduction programs in Africa and South America and Central America, and so just the world view that we have here at Riverbanks, and always have, I think is really an important thing for people to realize, that we're a small community here. South Carolina's not a big state, but Riverbanks we're a big dog in the world zoo community, and we've really been that way for a long time, much to everyone's amazement.
The zoo is always progressive. There's always a vision. There's always a forward plan. You can see animals, plants, you can see exhibits that you read about in magazines. There are people who are fortunate enough to travel the world. There are people who can come to the zoo and see what the rest of the world looks like.
The zoo has been very organic in its growth. I would like to say we had this wonderful, master plan, and we did A, and then we did B, and then we did C, and it resulted, but it didn't work that way. It was mostly opportunistic. A lot of it was really was driven by bond schedules. So what we've done over the years is some major expansions. The first one occurred from 1986 to 1989, and that was the Kenya Cafe, the farm, the entrance, we call it the new entrance, and of course the biggest piece of that one was the Ark, which effectively doubled the attendance of the zoo. Our next little growth occurred in the early to mid 90s with the Botanical Garden. That opened in 1995, and that was followed very quickly by a program we called Zoo 2002. That was the new birdhouse, the new elephant exhibit, the gorilla exhibit, this building for koalas, and also an entrance into the Botanical Garden.
This zoo still does amazing things that no one else has ever done. We have attendance records. Nobody ever said, everyone said we would never get to a million attendance here per year. And we do it regularly now in a community the size of Columbia.
It's just so rewarding that here in Columbia, South Carolina, we can offer something like this. It's the vision to continually improve, to move forward, to provide better.
With a project we call Destination Riverbanks, trying to play on the fact that we are trying to make Riverbanks a destination attraction, meaning that people from out of the region will be here so long in seeing the property, seeing the zoo, seeing the garden, that they'll be motivated to spend a night or two in the Midlands. The zoo is no longer going to be a 2-hour experience. It might be a 4-hour experience, especially for first-time visitors or folks who haven't been in a while. We're also working on a lot of guest amenities to try to do some things to better accommodate the roughly 1 million people who come here every year, and the centerpiece of that is a whole new entry complex. And the other exciting project is kind of a sleeper project, and that's our new children's garden over in the Botanical Garden. This is a $5 million project spread over 3 acres, geared to younger children. We'll have water play, tree houses, and a lot of things to keep children and their parents occupied for quite a while over there in a very fun way. By the summer of 2016, we'll have our new sea lion exhibit, which is truly a world-class exhibit for seals and sea lions. I think Columbia is going to be ecstatic with what they see. When all this is done, Riverbanks will be the total package in terms of an attraction.